So, let's talk about money, but not in the way you're probably used to. We're not talking about budgets or investing tips today. No, we're going to dive into what actually happens inside your body when you think about your bank account. We're exploring the surprising and deeply physical connection between our feelings and our finances.
And this quote right here, it's pretty much the foundation for everything we're talking about today. It's this radical idea that your financial reality isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about what your nervous system, your actual body, has been trained to feel is safe.
Let's really dig into that for a second. Have you ever felt that? You know, a bonus comes in, a little windfall lands in your lap, and instead of just pure, simple joy, there's this knot in your stomach. This whole explainer is about getting to the bottom of that exact feeling. Why does having more sometimes feel so uncomfortable?
Okay, and this is a huge mindset shift. The idea that financial self-sabotage isn't about being irresponsible or just being bad with money. The core concept here is that it's actually a deeply wired safety mechanism. Your body is literally trying to protect you from a danger that somewhere along the line it learned to associate with money.
All right, so if it's a safety mechanism, how in the world does it work? Well, that brings us to the central metaphor for this whole thing, the idea of a money thermostat.
So here's the thing you got to get. Your money thermostat is not set by your ambition or your vision board or your goals. It's set by your nervous system's comfort zone. It is the amount of money you can have in your life before your internal alarm bells start going off. In this comparison to a house thermostat, it just makes it all click, right? A thermostat in your house will always work to bring the temperature back to its set point. Well, your money thermostat does the exact same thing. It works to pull your finances back to whatever level feels normal and safe to your nervous system, even if that normal is being broke.
Just look at this list for a second. Does any of this sound a little too familiar? Maybe you get a windfall and then, bam, a sudden, totally unexpected emergency pops up, like the car breaking down. Or maybe you just feel this overwhelming guilt as your bank balance grows, this weird urge to just spend it or give it away. According to this theory, these aren't just coincidences. That's your thermostat kicking in, trying to pull you back to its factory settings.
So if this thermostat is running in the background all the time, how does it actually show up in our day-to-day lives? Let's take a look at the subtle, everyday faces of this kind of financial fear.
Now here is a really key insight. Money fear rarely looks like a big, dramatic panic. A lot of the time, it's disguised as just being polite. It's that little habit of putting someone else's comfort or just avoiding an awkward conversation ahead of your own financial well-being.
I mean, these actions seem so small, don't they? Almost insignificant. Not asking a friend for the money they owe you, feeling weird about picking up a dropped coin. But each one is a micro decision. It's a tiny betrayal of your own value that sends a crystal clear signal to your nervous system. I'm not worthy of this. This money doesn't really belong to me. And that's what keeps that low thermostat setting locked right in place.
Okay, now let's talk about a different type of fear. This one isn't so much about financial transactions, it's about environments. It's that feeling of being a total imposter when you walk into a high-end store or a fancy hotel. The idea here is that this has very little to do with the price tags and everything to do with a deep-seated feeling of belonging.
And this quote is exactly why. Your body is having a very real physical reaction to an unfamiliar setting. If you grew up around scarcity, an environment that screams ease and abundance can feel totally foreign, even threatening. Your nervous system is basically saying, whoa, we're not from around here. This isn't our tribe. This isn't safe. So here is the really good news in all of this. This is not a permanent part of who you are. It is not a character flaw. It's simply a learned response based on your past experiences. It's a memory stored in your body. And because it was learned, well, that means it can be unlearned. It can absolutely be retrained. Okay, so how do we actually do that? This is where we shift into the practical solutions. We're moving from just understanding the problem to actively rewiring our response to it.
The very first step is to be gentle with your nervous system. You can't just leap from being comfortable holding an extra $50 to holding $50,000 overnight. You trigger every single alarm bell you have. The key, as you see here, is slow, incremental expansion. You just let your body get used to holding an extra $100, then an extra $200. Slow is safe, and that safety is what makes the change actually stick.
Next up, it's about gently exposing yourself to those identity environments that feel so uncomfortable. And notice the steps here. You don't have to buy a single thing. The goal is simply to be in those spaces, to let your nervous system observe and slowly realize that nothing bad is happening. You're teaching your body through experience that this new environment is also safe.
And finally, this is about making money a respected, normal part of your physical reality. Don't hide from it. Clean your wallet. Look at your bank balance without panicking. Ask for your change back. Every one of these small acts of personal responsibility sends a powerful signal of safety and respect to your nervous system.
So all of these practical steps, they're all building toward one ultimate goal. It's not about chasing money. It's about becoming a safe and stable container for it. So when it arrives, it has a place to stay.
This idea right here really just sums the whole thing up. Your income potential isn't just about your skills. It's limited by the size of your comfort zone. It's capped by the tough conversations you're willing to have, the nice places you can walk into calmly, and the amount of success you can hold without feeling like you need to apologize for it.
And this might be the most important takeaway of all. Forget about affirmations and trying to convince yourself you deserve it for a second. The real work is physiological. It's about training your body to receive abundance without recoiling. It's learning how to see money arrive, not as a threat, but just as a neutral, available resource.
Every single one of those small, practical steps we just talked about is a rehearsal for a new reality. Bit by bit, you're creating a new definition of normal for your body and your mind. You're not just managing money, you are embodying a new identity that is actually comfortable with having it.
And we'll leave you with this last thought to chew on. What if we've been reframing this whole journey the wrong way? What if becoming comfortable with money isn't about greed at all, but about expanding your capacity to be generous, to be stable, and to be a force for positive change? The real question is, what could you achieve if you just stopped flinching?